Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Secret to Success podcast. We strive to bring you the top leaders in their industries so you can learn their secrets to success, so you can grow and build your businesses, be prosperous, and live the dreams that you are so looking to live. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us at info@theatsjr.com for more information about the ATSJR companies and to find out more about how to live your dreams and reach that middle class exit and live the life that you were supposed to live. Freedom is abundance and abundance is freedom. Let's all go live it. Thank you again for joining us for another episode of the Secret to Success podcast.
Have you ever had things going so well you knew your breakthrough was right there, and then all of a sudden, all hell broke loose? Kids started acting crazy, something broke in the house or the apartment, an unexpected bill came up, one of your friends just called you and said, "You know what? I'm not talking to you anymore." Something happened, and you're asking yourself, "What is going on?" Ladies and gentlemen, when all hell starts to break loose, that means your breakthrough is close. So what I need you to do is be unbothered. Be unbothered. When you know your breakthrough is coming, opposing forces must show up because when there's a thing you want, the thing you don't want has to show up because a it's one of Newton's laws about the equal and opposite reaction. Every reaction has an equal and opposite reaction. So if I want $10 million and I'm this close to getting it, the opposite of $10 million has got to show up. When you know that that's coming, oh, you can tell yourself, oh, you know what? I knew that was going to show up. I didn't know how it was going to show up, but that's opposing forces. The opposite has to show up. So that means I'm really close to what I want. So let me be unbothered, go through this so that I can get to my breakthrough. Be unbothered, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's easier said than done, but if you start to, what's the word? Antonio was talking about it the other day. Don't fight lateral battles. Don't fight this whole thing right here. That whole lateral battle, unexpected bill came up, lateral battle. Your kid got in trouble in school, lateral battle. Somebody called and cussed you out, lateral battle. It's hard, let it go. Be unbothered because the things you want are right around the corner. You are this close to your breakthrough. Don't give in to those lateral battles. Keep your eyes focused on the end goal. Keep going, have tunnel vision. I've seen different types of pictures out there where you think that to get from where you are to your goal is straight ahead, but then on the other side, to get from where you are to your goal has obstacles. It's like an obstacle course. Yeah, everything in an obstacle course is a lateral battle. Make sure you stay focused on the end goal and be unbothered. You know that there's a goal that you want. You want to be a transformational speaker, the best professional speaker out there, where you're speaking to thousands of people in stadiums, and you get that unexpected call from a relative. What you think you're doing? You just from Galveston like me. You can't speak to all those people. What you gonna talk about? That's a lateral battle. Be unbothered. Oh, girl, if I was you, I would, because I tried that, and this is what happened to me. Lateral battle. Be unbothered. Don't focus on the opinions and the sayings and the naysayings of others. Keep your eyes focused on the end goal. Stay focused, stay laser focused. Don't fight the lateral battles. Be unbothered. Keep going, keep moving, because moving forward solves all problems. Your breakthrough is right around the corner. Stay the course. Stay the route. Things are going to come your way. They're supposed to. Opposing forces are supposed to come your way. Be unbothered. Keep going. Keep your eyes on the prize. Your breakthrough is right there. My name is Grace Yvonne Sandals, and I thank you for joining me this evening.
All right. Thank you, Miss Grace. Be unbothered. The floor is now open. If you have any questions, comments, or would like to just pour back into our speaker for the evening, the floor is now yours.
That was a great message. We all need to hear that from time to time. And, I really like the keep moving forward and just keep putting one foot in front of the other and just keep pushing through and moving on. My saying is inch by inch, anything is a cinch, but by the yard it's hard. So no matter what, I always try to get things accomplished every day. Whatever obstacles are in my way, I feel I still need to accomplish certain things every day. And I make a point of doing that. And then the next day I don't feel so overwhelmed. And that always helps me. So I need to hear this all the time. It's a great message that we all need to, put into practice. Thanks so much, Grace.
Thank you, Ms. Susan, for those encouraging words. You're very welcome. Yes, it's a cinch by the inch, but it's hard by the yard. Yes, word to live by.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Susan. Oh, Phil, I see your mic is unmuted. The floor is yours.
Well, Grace, first of all, you showed us what a class act you were by being able to do your message while you're driving or while you're parked or while you're not in an environment where most people need to have everything perfect to take a step forward. So you're actually living what you were trying to tell us, which I think is an interesting concept. And that's what we all have to remind ourselves. You made me think of a couple quotes. Number one, I've never seen a statue erected to the critic, but to the people who've been criticized, many statues have gone up. That was Glenn W. Turner told me that. I was 22 years old when I first heard that. Now, my spin on that is when you're out front, the only thing they can see is you're behind, and I hope that's not your best side. So when people take shots at you, they're going to take shots at you when you're most vulnerable, because that's what they do. They're opportunists. So that's why it's so important that to shove it off. Think of Romans 8:28, all things work together for good for those who love God according to his purpose. And when you do that, things have a tendency to work out eventually. And you definitely quoted the physics, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And that's why you got to understand that when you're out there trying to something, you create another side of it, but it's your persistence and your patience is what works through to get to where you need to go. So thanks a lot for your message tonight. We appreciate you. Love you.
Love you more, Phil. Thank you so much.
All right.
Oh, and my Buckeyes just got the #1 rating in the college polls. Go Bucks!
Congratulations, Phil.
Congratulations. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Phil. The floor is now open. Who else would like to pour into Grace, ask a question, or just say thank you? The floor is now yours.
Hey, Grace. Oh, hello.
Hey, Corey.
Hey. Yeah, your message reminded me. I think I heard from a leader a while ago. She always spoke about being unmessable with, and that word always stuck with me. And I think your message really speaks to that. And you feel like you have something to say too? Sorry. But yes, just the art of being unmessable with. And so I really like that. And the other thing that she always says is being like Bozo. Because Bozo, no matter how much times you knock him down, he always comes back. So that message really, your message really reminded me of that. And even for myself, always knowing that regardless of what's happening, to always keep going, regardless of the situation. So thank you for sharing. I mean, yeah, thank you for sharing this message.
You're very welcome, Corey. Thank you. I do remember. I can't remember the author's name, but I remember that book when he said, yeah, you said it. You said it the polite way. He said
Yeah,
uneffable.
that was
So
that's
yes, I know it.
from the book. Yeah, that's from the book, the Code of Extraordinary Minds.
Extraordinary man. That's it. Vision
Yeah,
Lockiana. Yes,
and
yes.
it is a little bit more
Thank you.
explicit. But the way he,
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, is there anyone else who would like to ask a question, make a comment, or just pour back into Grace? The floor is all yours. All right. Well, Miss Grace, we will give the floor back to you for your closing words.
Thank you all for joining me this evening. Make sure you stay unbothered. You know what your goal is. You know your end goal. You know where you're going. Stay the course. Obstacles are going to come because they're supposed to. So when you know that when they show up, just tell yourself, this was supposed to happen. Let me keep it moving. Thank you all. God bless you. And good night.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. It's Tuesday. Let's Talk Tuesday, and I have the honor. Thank you to Antonio and Tempest for making this possible. I'm just going to go ahead and get started. And today we're talking about body language. There are three main ways that we communicate. 7% of our communication is all verbal. Those are the words that we speak. 38% of that, our communication, is the tone of our words. Just by changing our tone, if I say, come here, or if I say, come here, definitely change in body, that's a definite change in the tone in the way that we speak. But the thing that amazed me the most is 55% of our communication is through our body language. How amazing is that the body can communicate so many things without anybody even speaking a word? There's a whole community out there, and I don't even sure if community is the right word. There's 360 million deaf people in the world that can communicate through sign language. Yes, sign language is definitely body language. Other ways to communicate through body language, my grandson, he's 2, he has tantrums. Throws himself on the ground. He definitely shows me when he is not happy. That's him showing me through body language.
Hey everybody, it's my honor to talk to you about Grammarly. Now I can tell you I have a master's degree. Well, obviously I have a bachelor's degree too, and both of these are in a writing industry. And if I tell you grammar is something difficult to get a hold of, and Grammarly has saved me in a master thesis. It has saved me an online post. It has made a true difference in my life because context is everything. And Grammarly praises and helps you with that context. So I'm excited. Grammarly just is amazing. It works across multiple platforms, including Gmail, Google Docs, Slack. I personally, Antonio T. Smith Jr., use Grammarly to edit my books, my blog post. Grammarly does about 99% of my professional editing. I personally pay for the pro version of Grammarly so I can get not only the grammar check, but the syntax of things. Sometimes I have sentences that are not clear. Grammarly even helps me with redundant phrases. And then sometimes I use a word too many times in a paragraph, and Grammarly will help me change words so my context and my content could be more flattering to the reader's eyes and ears. I am just excited about Grammarly. I strongly, and I mean strongly, recommend it to all of you. I really do. It makes your sentences more clear, concise, crisp. It does everything. So this is what I want to tell all of you. Do not think of this as some ad. This is a personal endorsement from me to you about Grammarly. So I want to motivate you. In fact, let me ethically bribe you to try out Grammarly. So in a little bit, I'm going to have you go get 20% off Grammarly Premium. When you sign up, you're going to go to grammarly.com/success. And I'm going to have you do that. But before you do that, let me tell you, it's easy to use. Its features are perfect. And if you understand that the written word is the greatest invention of mankind, and today you're not judged only by what you look like. The reason why you can't get into a college without writing an essay, or you can't get a scholarship without writing an essay, is because how you write determines your class. Remember that. I want you to remember that when you send out an email, someone is judging you. When you make a post, someone is judging you. So if you want to improve your writing on all your favorite sites and apps, Outlook, Gmail, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and more, let's go with Grammarly. Now that's GRAMMARLY.com/success. That's GRAMMARLY.com/success. Get 20% off Grammarly Premium when you sign up at Grammarly.com/success. If you couldn't remember that, no worries. It's the first thing you'll see in the show notes. Let's go.
The way through communication through body language is, let's say you're visiting a foreign country and you're not fluent. Let's say you're in Germany or Russian or Spain and you're not fluent in their language, but you still can communicate through body language. You can pointing. If you get lost, you definitely want to be able to find or get directions. So something simple as pointing, nodding your head yes, shaking your head no, shrug of your shoulders, and of course, I'm not going to do it, but everybody knows that universal hand gesture. That's very intense. Direct body language can be very intent too. There you go, BJ. That's one too, BJ. Direct body language, you can express yourself with intent to express yourself. We have facial expressions. The face alone just never blew me away. 250,000 different signals. I don't know all of them. I don't know hardly any of them. I know happiness, sadness, disgust, anger, contempt, surprise, fear, and even an eye roll can be used as body language. But our body actually has 700,000 signals to communicate with somebody else. How awesome is that? I mean, that's incredible. That's awesome. Or isn't it? Because sometimes we use our body language can speak for us. Our body language can say things that we don't want to say. These are silent signals that can portray can be actually pretty harmful if you're a business owner without you even knowing it. Body language can show your fear, insecurities, lack of self-confidence, and it can even show that maybe you're not trustworthy. Not only can it harm your business, but it also can harm you, because we teach our subconscious how to feel with our body language. Keeping our body language in check takes some serious effort. In most instances, you may not even know what your body language is saying, or you don't know what your body language is telling somebody. And a lot of times you don't know what your body language is telling yourself. Our body language has a much more accurate meaning of what we are saying instead of the words that we are speaking. In other words, actions speak louder than words. It's a cliche, but it is so true. And then we tend to confuse people because sometimes our body language doesn't match what we say. People hear one thing, but they see another. And why does this happen? Because our subconscious can choose our body language without us even realizing it. Our body language can tell a lot about how a person feels in a particular situation, and more importantly, it can show how we feel about ourselves if we pay attention to it. It can tell someone that if we're lacking in self-esteem, they'll know it. If we are lacking in self-confidence, it will show. If we're afraid, nervous, or uncomfortable, our body speaks that. Even though I can say, if you notice my body language, if I'm slumped forward and saying, I feel good, but it doesn't feel good and it doesn't look good. But if I stand more postured, I fix my shoulders and I stand more straight, it's more believable when I say I feel good because I look like I feel good. So we talked about, so when someone's slumped over with their shoulders down, they can demonstrate a lack of confidence, or it can be a sign of boredom. If you're talking to somebody and you keep averting your eyes, if you're not looking them in the eye, that can indicate that you're uncomfortable, you're self-conscious, or if you're asking someone a question and they won't look at you in your eye, it may even show that you're lying. If you cross your arms, that's a signal that you're closed off, you're defensive, you're self-conscious, you're in disagreement, or you're just not open to receive information. A forced smile can mean insincerity. If you're standing with all your weight on one leg can also be a sign of weakness and insecurity. Little movement, like checking your watch. Boredom, inattentive. All of these things, if you're in a business meeting and you're doing some of these things, it's not making you credible. It shows if you're nervous, if you're insecure, if for anything, if you show any of these signs, people will notice this. People may not do business with you because of that. If you're a speaker, now, if you're in church, if you're a pastor, if you're a minister, if you're doing anything speaking, and you have your hands open, I don't know if you can see my hands open. There we go. See my hands open. That's okay if you're in a church. That's okay if you're in a minister, because you're open to receive. Now, if you're actually in sales and you're speaking with somebody with your hands open, it's almost like you're begging or you're desperate for them as a customer. I always do, if you're gonna talk, do that. I call it the Antonio pose, because now I know why he's always talking and his hands are out like this. He's not talking with his with you talk with your palms down to a group. You're actually trying to suppress their excitement. You don't want to do that if you're on stage. You want them to be excited. Talking with your hands up if you're not in a religious, if it's not a religious engagement. Talk with your hands to your side. I call it the Antonio pose. And now when I look back, I think about it, that's all he does. He talks with his hands like this. There are so many different body signals. If you're listening to somebody and you're leaning forward, that's great. That shows them that you are attentive, that you're really focused, you're listening to them. But if you're leaning forward and you're trying to sell them a product or a service, it actually shows aggression. It actually may show that you're being a little pushy. So it depends on the position you're in. It depends on the situation you're in. But there is so many different body signals for many different situations. I just tipped the top of them. Like they said, there were 700,000. If we don't have enough time, it'll go into Tuesday next week. Keeping your body language in text takes some serious effort. In most instances, you may not even know you're doing it. How do you fix that? Be aware of your body language by being aware of how you feel. If you feel insecure, check your body language. Are you slumped forward? Are you closed in? Are your arms crossed? Is your weight on one foot? Check yourself. Check how you feel. If you're feeling insecure, don't show it. Don't show you're insecure. Another way to find out what your body language is, ask somebody that you trust, preferably a very honest friend that'll give you honest feedback. Another way is you can take a video of yourself. Oh my, OMG, when I look back at some of my videos, I was all over the place. My eyes were, I was talking to the camera, I was talking to that little circle on the phone, and I was all over the place. I was like this, I was rocking back and forth. I showed my nervousness. I showed my lack of self-confidence. And I'm sure it was also distracting to the viewer. I wish I could erase some of those, but it also shows growth. So your lack of self-confidence will be visible to other people. So how can you look more confident? How can you look stronger and change the way you feel and interact with people through your body language? You want to know my secret? You fake it till you make it. You can do that. You can fake your body language. It's simple. It's like breaking a habit. You got to consistently and constantly do it. You have to be aware of it. You do it. I got some tips here. Eye contact. You can appear confident by maintaining eye contact. Good eye contact shows others that you're interested and that you're comfortable. I'm not saying just stare at them. I'm not saying don't do that. That's kind of weird. Just do it for about 60% of the time. If direct eye contact makes you feel intimidating, they say to do this. Something I don't recommend, but I wanted to tell it because I'm not sure. They say to focus on a point between their eyes. I think I would go cross-eyed doing that. But if you really have anxiety about talking with somebody or looking somebody in the face, focus on their eyebrow. Focus on something around them. Give them a little eye contact. Let them know that you're interested. If you are in a conversation, now I'm not talking about selling something, but if you're just in a conversation and you want to stay focused or you want them to know you're interested, lean forward. Lean into the conversation. It keeps you focused on what they're saying. If you're sitting, sit straight. Grandma always said it best, sit up straight, don't slouch. There was a reason for that, because it makes you even feel confident. Straighten your back, pull your shoulders back, uncross your arms, uncross your legs. It's gonna be uncomfortable, trust me, I've tried it. I've tried it a couple times and it's really uncomfortable. If you're standing talking to somebody, don't shift your weight onto one foot. It actually makes you look like you're intimidated by them. Stand straight, both feet planted on the ground. Hands at your sides. I know they say not to put your hands in your pockets. Don't do that, guys. I know that's easy to do, or don't rock back on your heels, something like that. Stand up straight, just stand still. It's an odd feeling. It's crazy, I know. Keep your chin up. That's one of the things that when you're walking, they'll say don't look down, but don't look down while you're standing. Don't be averted, don't look to the side. Just stand with your feet planted and your arms by your side. For me, that was really uncomfortable. I did it in the office the other day and I wanted to shift my weight. I wanted to cross my hand. I actually ended up folding my hands in front of me. Grace had said, "Do you want to sit down?" I'm like, no, I didn't want to tell her. I was doing a little test. I was trying to test my body language. And I stood there. It was like really hard to be focused, which told me that I don't do it enough. The more uncomfortable it feels in the beginning means the more that you should practice doing it. Other things that are, watch your hands. Don't fidget. I do it a lot. I twirl my hair. I didn't realize I was doing that until I actually watched a replay of one of the classes I was doing, and I was just twiddling away. It showed that I didn't care. It showed I wasn't focused. It showed that I was bored, and I wasn't. It was just a nervous. Can't even remember what we were talking about, but it was nervousness. That's all it was nervousness. So watch with your hands, with your what you're doing. If you're a speaker, do the Antonio hands when you talk. You don't have to feel confident to change your body language. It might feel strange at first. And I can give you an example of that. And don't do this if you're not driving, or if you're driving, please don't take your hands off the wheels. I want you to be safe. But just to give you a little test to see how it may feel. If you cross your arms like this, and I'll give everybody a chance to do it. Right? Okay. So this is the way I have my right arm on top. So I'm going to uncross it and put my left arm on top. It don't feel right, does it? It feels a little uncomfortable. It feels a little uncomfortable. That is about the most uncomfortable changing your body language will make you feel. If you're the kind of one that slips forward and all this, try standing. It might be uncomfortable. You're not doing it. You got it, BJ? You got it. Okay. All right. Body language, not in the head. So yeah, that's just uncomfortable. It's a little weird, but for somebody who's used to standing with all their weight on one foot, like me, I'm bad on that. I'll stand over my foot. Standing up with both feet planted, it's just going to feel a little weird, like that exercise we did. But it's going to make a change. It's going to make a change in how you look. It'll make a change in how you think and feel, and it'll make a change in how other people see your confidence. Sometimes I ride in the car with Grace. I ride shotgun with Grace. And I always sit there. I sit in the passenger seat, and I'll sit there like this. And she'll say, "Auntie, are you cold?" No. And I couldn't figure out what it was that I was feeling. Maybe it was, when you cross your arms, it makes you shutting people out. You might be dissatisfied with something. I don't know what at the moment I was feeling. So the other day, she's driving me home, and I sat there like this. I had my both feet planted. I had my hands like this on the top of my legs. Immediately, my shoulders went back. I sat up taller. Hey, Grace. There she goes. I sat up taller. I felt better. And it's a short ride home, so I'm sitting there. She's like, "I think it's working." I'm like, "It is." I felt more confident. It actually put me in a better mood. I was actually trying to be angry about something, and I couldn't because I felt powerful. Just sitting like this, I felt powerful. I felt more confident. And it was a really, really good feeling. It was actually really good. It felt unnatural. You know why? Because being confident doesn't feel natural to me. Exactly. Just like the arms crossing thing. Some things are not going to feel natural because we're so used to our body language reflecting the way we feel sometimes. So I just wanted to give you that little exercise there. Another thing that has helped me, and this is something that I learned a few months ago, and it was about accepting compliments. Now, what does that have to do with body language? Well, actually, doing this exercise made me able to accept compliments more. Before, I would brush them off or I would explain them away. And somebody told me that if I would use the body language, if someone would give me a compliment and say, "Hey, Michelle, you look good today," I would secretly scoop that compliment and bring it to my heart. Why did that work? I have no idea, but it made me just a simple body language. Just a simple effort of body language, just scooping that to my heart, made me hang on to that compliment just a little bit better. Just to show you how important body language is, not only for communities of people that can't hear, only for people that can't communicate in the same language. Body language is important to not only the people in our lives who we add value to, but it's important that we have good body language for us. Yes, changing your body language takes a little effort. Catch yourself, check yourself. How are you feeling? Not only will these movements start feeling more natural to you, so will the new confidence. It's also about tricking your subconscious. It works. I've done it. Body language is a wonderful, amazing thing. Use it to your advantage. Does anybody have any comments, questions, or concerns, complaints?
I don't have any questions. I don't have any complaints, but I do want to say thank you, Auntie.
You're
with
welcome.
everything you pointed out, with everything you pointed out to me, I'm like, dang, I do that. Dang, I do that too. Dang it, I do that too. So thank you for explaining to me what I'm saying when I'm doing these things, because these are things that I actually do naturally. And so I'm going to work on those. Thank you. Like,
how do you think I felt reading and researching for this?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I find myself slouching. I'll find myself doing this sometimes, just sitting back with my arms crossed. I'll find myself hunched over, like, and then you're sitting here talking, like, dang, that's what I'm telling people? Crap. So thank you so much for tonight's call. I greatly appreciate it. I was extremely educated. So thank you very much. Very, very much. Thank you.
You are very, very welcome. And I know the feeling, because as I was going through some of this research, I was like, oh, it was tough. It was tough. And it's hard the toughest thing was, now that I know, like Chantel says, if you know better, you do better. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. You have to be in a constant state of awareness of what you are saying to, not only to others, but to yourself. So I was educated too, Deanna. Thank you.
I have a question.
Absolutely.
All right, I had a couple of questions, but you answered some of them. Like the one question about how long to keep eye contact, because I be doing that sometimes. I be staring at people and be talking. I'm like, yeah. And I don't blink, because I used to always win in the staring contest. I don't blink. But either way, but you answered that pretty cool. And I guess my next question was, how do you feel about practicing your body language in the mirror? Like sometimes I get in the mirror and I have to practice, seeing my eyes, and when I want to look crazy, because when I talk to my sons, I have to look a certain kind of way to stop from laughing, but so they'll take it serious. So what do you think about that?
Most definitely. I think that's an awesome, I didn't even touch base on that. I didn't even think about that one, BJ. That is awesome. Most definitely watch your body language in the mirror. And if you can, catch yourself. I have a stand-up mirror in my bedroom. So yeah, I guess I need to do that more often. That is a really great point. Thank you, BJ.
Oh, no problem. I was just asking the question, but hey, if it help out, it helps out.
No, it did. Thank you. I think sometimes, and I'll be talking about this, sometimes when we have a poor self-body image, we avoid the mirror. So don't avoid the mirror. Don't avoid the mirror. Yeah, that one's coming too. I'm going to be talking about self-image and body image coming up on in a couple weeks. So most definitely, in doing the research for that, it does say do not avoid the mirror. Not avoiding the mirror is actually worse for your self-image.
It is. You all look up that when the people were training for that movie 600, they did like a little thing where they would flex in front of the mirror for a certain amount of time to get, like, some people do that to get their body right. It works on look like if you see little boys who always are flexing in the mirror, they start getting muscles faster than the rest of the boys. And it works for girls too who think they're pretty.
Okay, because I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna start flexing.
For real. Bodybuilders do that a lot. Flexing in the mirror.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm done.
Awesome.
I'll let everybody else ask.
And by the way, VJ, it's nice to see you on.
Yes, yes. I'm glad
Nice
to
to
be
see.
on.
Oh, I have a comment.
Hey, Chantel.
Hey. Okay, I have to say this so before I forget. BJ talking about having to keep your face serious when you're not trying to laugh at the kids. That is so hard for me. So I really have to practice that because I will just like bust out laughing, like especially with my son. I'm like, oh man. So that was a good point. But Michelle, oh, that was so good. That was really informative, and it really came at a perfect time right after my meeting I had today, because I noticed something that I was doing, and it was an hour meeting, and I was doing a pre-program questionnaire for an event, for a speaking event at a detention center, and I felt like, and I've had the tendency to do this, where I am over, like, I'm like, I mean, I feel like I'm doing it too much, so sometimes I'll like calm myself down, or like if I'm standing too tall sometimes, or where I'm like staring like BJ, like looking for too long and really being, I mean, at a level of confidence to where I kind of find myself like, all right, Chantel, relax, it's not that serious, you know. So I'm like, I don't know how to, baby, one second. So I'm like, it was weird today because I was like, okay, wait, relax. So then once I started to let my auto suggestion of, you know, as a kid where they were like, be seen and not heard type of thing, I was like doing things like looking at the clock, or I was like backing down. But I'm like, can you ever be overconfident?
No, I don't think so. Look, no, I don't think you can ever be overconfident. Now, there's arrogance, but that's different than overconfident. Overconfident is good. Overconfidence, I think, will get you what you need from somebody. Look at Antonio. Antonio is his confidence is inspiring. His confidence to me is inspiring. I don't think there's any such thing. I don't know if anybody has any input on that, but I don't think you can be overconfident.
Yeah, because sometimes
Does anybody?
I'm like too much. Like even something like on calls or something, I'll be like, all right, Chantel, enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, relax.
No.
Or like today with this woman, I was like really in tune. I was really deep in it, and then I found myself like, all right, relax. But it was like a mental thing. It was like, all right, just get comfortable.
I love it when you. I think there's a way to be a little bit relaxed but still confident. I actually love it when you are. I love it when you're in class on the course and you're just into it and you're asking your questions, because number one, you're asking questions and you're being confident, showing other people how to do it. I've learned a lot from you just by watching you be that way. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I don't know. Does anybody have an opinion on that or any thoughts? But I love it.
I have a question on that. So I guess in studying body language, what are some of the signs that we can be aware of when somebody is uncomfortable with your body language sometimes? Because, you know, sometimes I have to be careful. Like, I might be over aggressive and I just might be excited, but the other person like, oh, this dude is crazy. Like, basically the whole thing is, you know what I'm saying, how can we gauge when we need to calm down or when we need to crank it up based off of the environment? I guess that to have that awareness of other people's body language to see if we're matching.
I think actually mirroring somebody, as far as if you're like overly excited and maybe their personality is very calm. I think that I think being able to mirror somebody is awesome self-confidence. I think you're awesome awareness. You're in tune not only to how your behavior is, but you're in tune to somebody else's behavior. So I think sometimes Antonio talks about sometimes you have to bring yourself down and speak at someone else's level. To me, that's just, I think being able to recognize that right there is to make another person feel comfortable is awesome awareness. It's, you know, I mean, yeah, like you said, you get into it, you get excited. It's not it's not taking your personality away, but it's also serving somebody else by making them feel comfortable. Did that make sense? Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
And also like how you said, be aware, you know, just being
Yeah.
aware of how you are, and then also to go on BJ is being aware of other people, because you can feel it. You
Exactly. And I think being aware how everybody else is around you is, when somebody is in low self-esteem, and if they're in a situation where they're feeling uncomfortable, they're feeling nervous, they're so aware of how they're feeling that they're not aware of anything around them. So I think being able to mirror somebody and be around somebody shows, I think is shows you right then and there that you have confidence, because you're not paying attention really to how you're acting. You're focusing on how somebody else is acting towards you. I know when I'm my moments of insecurities in low self-esteem, I'm so focused on me and so focused on my fears that I don't think about anybody else's. So raising your awareness, yeah, it's all about me when I'm in low self-esteem. It's all about my feelings. So being able, so I think that right there shows that you're more concerned about how somebody else's perception of you, as far as if you're too aggressive is okay. Oh, hold on, let me mute.
oh,
Okay, Michelle, that's powerful. That was a very, very powerful call. Even during the duration of the call, I had to personally check my body language at times. So thank you for that. Thank you for bringing the awareness of body language to us, so we can be more aware of our body language when we're out in public, or when we are doing business, or just dealing with people, period. Um, to address what BJ said, in just my opinion, I'm not going to say I'm a factual man and I studied this to know this to be true, BJ, but I would say that it's always a time and a place to do everything, more or less. But your etiquette will tell you when it's okay, when it's not okay, as far as you saying the person feeling uncomfortable. Because my deal is, when you're overexerted or you're super excited at a football game, you don't care if a person is uncomfortable or not. You're cheering for your team. But when you're super excited and overexerted and loud in church, you care what the next person next to you feel like. That doesn't, to me, it doesn't make sense. I should be able to be me wherever I go. If I'm a super extrovert, allow me to be a super extrovert wherever I'm at. If I'm excited about it, allow me to express and show my excitement. I understand etiquette, and there's a certain place and certain time for certain things. But I don't allow people, I used to allow people to quench who I am because of where I am, but I no longer allow people to quench who I am because of where I am. If you don't if you don't like it or agree with it, get move, because I'm still gonna be me. The same way I shout for my Houston Rockets, I'm a shout for the deity in which I serve and worship and live my life for. And I wouldn't say everything is confidence, and that I would agree with uh, to Chantel. I would agree with Michelle and say there's no such thing as overconfidence. Now, what you don't want to do is have the attitude of being cocky with your confidence. Because arrogance, only thing arrogance, right? We messed the word arrogance up. Only thing arrogance means is not receiving new information, period, point blank. The word we're actually looking for is not arrogance, it's cockiness. Cockiness is an attitude. And when we show a cockiness, when we show the attitude behind our confidence, then it comes off as cocky. But as long as you are humble, you remain as confident as you want to be in any situation. Because Antonio is
Okay, you said.
always confident, but he's always humble. That's why he never comes off as cocky. Make sense?
Open that up a little bit more about being cocky. What are some signs that you're cocky, and how can you be aware of that?
Cockiness comes from, okay, I'm glad you asked that. Cockiness comes from a few areas. People can kind of put it in you, you kind of put it in yourself because of some trials and tribulations that you have been through. But how you can know that you're cocky is, let's say, for example, I'm looking at the screen and I say, BJ, man, that's a nice coat. And you say, yeah, I know, that's why I bought it. That's cockiness and sarcastic. You know what I mean? Or, oh man, that look good on you. Yes, thank you, I know. That's why I put it on. Instead of just humbling yourself, oh, thank you, I appreciate that. Make sense? Cockiness is your attitude about your confidence. So your attitude determines your altitude. If your attitude sucks with receiving a compliment, that means you are cocky about receiving a compliment, covered with a sucky attitude for it. And a lot of time cockiness comes in sarcasm, because a lot of people play cockiness through sarcasm. They'll be sarcastic about it, but they're just really being cocky. You know that Mr. Know-it-all, the person, the one-upper, everybody knows the one-upper. You tell them that you closed one sale today, they had to close 10. Like, they have to one-up you on everything. You tell them, be blessed, they're going to say, well, you be blessed and highly favored. Like, they have to always one-up you. That's an attitude of cockiness. I always have to have the final say, or I always have to have the last shot. I always have to hit the game winner. So my attitude with my confidence is to be cocky. And with my cockiness, sarcasm comes out. Make sense? You got me, BJ?
Yeah, that make perfect sense. So yeah, okay. Even because the way you said, I'll think about it now. Sometimes just playing it and being sarcastic, and trying to be like a little slick on the side, it can come off as cocky. And if people ain't it depends on what mindset they in. They go like, oh, dude, right, that's too cocky for me. I can't deal with that.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, I understand. I feel you all the way.
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks, Brian. No, that was good. Thank you. You saved me. Okay, does anybody else have any questions or comments, concerns, complaints?
Hey, Auntie.
Hey, Grace.
Great job. I thank you for the pregame warm-up yesterday on the ride home. But today was really good. You know, you really do have to watch, you know, your body language, because it does speak, you know, more than your mouth does. And so you really have to watch what it is that how you carry yourself, because it's very important in business and in life, you know, personal and business. And so very informative call. Thank you so much. And I'm going to continue to do the Antonio hands when I talk. Thank you.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. I didn't know what else to call him.
He do that too.
He does. He does.
I'm not sure if you already know this, but you're already absolutely perfect. You're already absolutely great. And you're already living in massive abundance. The most important things that you have is not what you have. It's not what you do. It's what you know. Because the people who do know what you need to know to lead the middle class, they're in the top 1%, and they control 96% of the world's income. 97% of this world is trading time for money, and that is not the way to become rich. It's not the way to become wealthy, and it is absolutely not the way to leave the middle class. There are 7.8 billion people in the world right now, and they all want to learn how to make money and how to leave the middle class. But the way to become a master at anything is to learn all the rules and then bend them to your favor. Right now in this world, there are 2,057 billionaires. Right now, So if you think becoming a billionaire is impossible, that's 2,057 people that have already proved that impossibility incorrect. And if you think that's crazy, there are 46.8 million millionaires in the world, worldwide right now. Now think about that. 46.8 million millionaires, and that number grows 1,730 millionaires every single day. Money is everywhere. You don't need to max out your credit cards. You don't need to borrow from granddad and grandma. Just look behind me. Look at all the wealth sitting behind me in this junkyard. It's insane how much money is everywhere, and you don't need to go out there and beg, borrow, and steal to get it. You just need to know the rules of making money and how to leave the middle class. Essentially, all you need to know is the algorithm of making money, the rules of making money. All you need to know is what to do and how to do it, and you can leave the middle class. Any industry, yoga, golf, underwater basket weaving, clipping fingernails, it doesn't matter. All you have to do is know how to do it, how to get it done, and then find somebody to teach you how to do it, how to get it done, and you will be able to leave the middle class. If you're not getting my point, it's real simple. Whatever you have up here, as long as you understand the rules of leaving the middle class, as long as you understand how to get money, you can take what's up here and get wealthy from what you already have. Right now, the very thing you know up here is already being searched 1,000 times a second on Google. Someone right now, actually 1,730 people right now are going to become a millionaire from the stuff that you have in your head. Why can't this be you? I mean, it's 1,730 people with your ideas that are no better than you, that are going to leave the middle class, become a millionaire. Why are you not next? So how do we do this? How do we take what you know and apply it to objective money-making secrets and then allow you to leave the middle class? How do we take you from where you are and let you escape to where you want to go? So how do we make all this money, or take all this knowledge from the Warren Buffetts, from the Elon Musk? How do we take everything that everyone before you has done, and how do we take all of that and then put it in your head so you can leave a legacy for your family? My name is Antonio T. Smith Jr. 32 years ago, I lived in a trash can. That's right, from 6 to 14, I had no running water, no electricity, no anything, and somehow I'm in the top 1% today. Not because I had the right background, not because I had a silver spoon in my mouth, simply because being homeless made me learn how to make money. I retired when I was 29 years old. I'm more than likely younger than you. I'm one of the top 1% income earners in one of the richest countries in the world. What I learned how to do when I was 6 years old was learn how to generate enough money to eat some cookies so I wouldn't die to death from starvation. From there, I learned how to go from cookies to a meal. From a meal to clothes to shelter to everything else that supplied my necessary needs. When I was 6, I was forced to learn how to make money, and now that's what I'm going to do and help you do. I've seen amazing results. I have my own economy. I've homeschooled my own children, and I wrote a book that teaches you every single thing that I know about making money, every single thing that other people know about making money, and most importantly, all the stuff that we don't tell you. Because the truth is, and you know it like I know it, the most honest, the most hardworking, unselfish people on planet Earth live in the middle class. Yet, your honesty, your unselfishness, your devout religion-going self is not enough to get to the top 1%, and that's not fair. The second half of my life has been not about how much money I make, but how I will be remembered from all the money that I have made. And I've been trying to teach everybody how to get out the middle class. I'm the crazy guy famous on the internet for trying to create 100,000 millionaires. I've created 8 so far. I got a 9th one on the way, all the way from India. That's pretty cool. And what I want to tell you is something very simple. It's been hard. It's been absolutely hard to help people leave the middle class, not because of the people, because the system would rather keep you being someone else's money instead of you having your own economy and having the money come find and flow to you. It was frustrating because I knew that anybody can make money. And if you knew what I knew, you would change your life. Over the last few years, I've built a large following of over 500,000 people every month that pay me for me to give them advice. Well, that's been exciting for me. And the cool thing is I've created thousands of six-figure earners. I've created millionaires. I've created people who can live their dreams and hold on to their legacies. And now my eyes are on you to create you to what you need to be great. I have been teaching my principles and these principles to hundreds of thousands of people around the world, every country, all continents, and anyone who has taken them seriously, written them down and applied them have a 100% success rate of leaving the middle class. I've taught these secrets to my following, my inner network, and I've watched them go from 4 figures to 5 figures, 5 figures to 6 figures, 7 figures, all the way to 8. Everything that I've ever learned from millionaire mentors, billionaire mentors, and everything I learned from being homeless, and everything that got me into the top 1%, I have placed inside of a book. To date, it is the longest book that I've ever written, the most best book that I've ever written, and that book is called The Richest Man and the Trash Can, and I'm offering it to you today for free. This book is going to show you how to become wealthy into the top 1% and leave the middle class. This book is going to give you a step-by-step plan if you're 30 years old, all the way to 70 years old, how to get into the top 1%. If you're a teenager, how to get to the top 1%. If you're a millennial, how to get to the top 1%. It's going to teach you how to make 6 figures immediately, teach you how to get to $1 million immediately, and all that good stuff. Plus, I'm going to give you the 36 objective laws of leaving the middle class. Plus, I'm going to give you every last one of my secrets that have made me rich. You have to understand that leaving the middle class is the most important fight that you're going to have in your life. And to be honest with you, and you can kind of relate to this, it almost takes $450,000 a year just to be broke in America. And that's just in America. If you don't leave the middle class, which is actually an illusion, then you are going to have a really hard time. Think about it for a second. Most of you going to be watching this are going to be baby boomers, and you've been sold a bad check. They lied to you. Your retirement was not enough for you to live comfortable, and I'm going to give you this book for free so you can figure out how to triple your retirement and then quadruple your retirement, and then as Grant Cardone would say, 10x your retirement so you can live the life that's worthy of you. I want you to remember that leaving the middle class is the most important battle that you could ever face in your entire life, especially for your family. So consider this video, this book, your friendly tap on the shoulder. I want to send you a free copy of this book because I believe that abundance is your birthright. I believe that abundance is freedom, and I believe that this book is right for you. In fact, I believe in that so much that I will send you the book for free. All you have to do is cover the cost of shipping. I'll eat the cost. I'll take the loss. And all you have to do is get the book and dominate your reality right now and apply the principles so you can be the best person for your life that is yours. Fill out the form sitting right there to the right. Go ahead, dominate your reality. I can't wait to send you my book. I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to have you as someone that's been on the journey with me. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can plan better. You can dominate.